Hello everyone, Xeno What If here. Bring in part 4 of What If Jaune Arc was betrayed and became Megatron. Link in the description of the fanfiction of this What If. Listen here YouTube. I do not own anything and this is not a scam. Chapter 7. Up in the skies, 5 jets can be seen flying up in the snowy skies of Atlas. First we have a Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor covered in Cybertronian tattoos. We also have a blue Cybertronian jet, another Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor, but its color scheme is that of purple and black. Then another Cybertronian jet, but this time it is red and white. Finally we have a McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom jet. These are the Seekers, the aerial squad of the Decepticon army. They are comprised of Starscream, Thundercracker, Skywarp, Ramjet, and the new guy in the group named Blitzwing. All of them were tasked by Megatron to retrieve a relic located in Solitas. Skywarp. How much longer are we even going to fly around here? All I see is snow. Starscream. Silence you fool. The coordinates Soundwave gave us, shows that we are close. Now pipe down or I will rip your vocal cords myself. Skywarp. Come and try, Starscream. Suddenly, the Seekers all get a transmission from Megatron, and he is not happy at all. Megatron. Silence. Cease all your complaints, Starscream, or I'll rip you into shreds with my bare hands. Ramjet. Status report. Have you reached the location of the relic? Ramjet. We have not yet reached the coordinates Soundwave has sent us, but we are close. Megatron. Are we now? No matter, I expect all of you to retrieve the relic by any means necessary. Do not let the humans retrieve our technology. Do I make myself clear? Everyone. Yes, Lord Megatron. Once the transmission has ended, Starscream began mumbling to himself. Starscream. Mark my words, Megatron. You will rue the day you cross me. Blitzwing. And do you honestly believe you can take on Lord Megatron and survive? The only chance you can do that is when he has his back turned. Starscream. Silence, you impudent whelp. You are not of our world and you don't get to speak to me in such a manner. Ramjet. Can it, both of you? We are nearing the coordinates Soundwave sent us. Thundercracker. What are we up against? Ramjet. Scans shows this is an SDC mine. They reported retrieving some sort of device that was encased in ice, as well as some red crystals. Reports say some human named Jacques Schnee is in the facility to see what these objects are about. Starscream. That does not matter to us, all those that stand beneath us will be destroyed. Skywarp. Finally, some action. The cons boosts their engines and make their way to the facility. Solitas. SDC mining facility. In the SDC mining facility, a bullhead landed minutes ago and outsteps Jacques Schnee. He refused to go to this facility as he believed it was a waste of time. He said it himself that he had other businesses to attend to, but when they showed him what they found, Jacques' interest piqued. He walks up to the warehouse where he is surrounded by his security detail. Once they head inside, the SDC guards escorted him to the object of interest, which was encased in ice, and from what Jacques can tell, the object looks advanced. More advanced than anything Atlas has in their possession. Jacques, can you tell me what this object is or if it's anything related to Atlas? SDC guard. We have no clue what this metal object is, only that the workers found this device in the mines. We can contact Atlas and ask them if. Jacques. No, that won't be necessary. He went up to examine the metal object, Jacques thinking of all the profit he can get from this. Jacques. Transport the device back to our labs and have the scientist examine this. I will use this to struck a deal with the Atlas military. Ironwood would love to have something like this in his possession. As for the miners, kill them. We can't let anyone know of this, we can put in the report that it was a grim attack. SDC guard. Yes sir. The SDC guard left as Jacques went back to examining the device, thinking of ways to sell this and earn more money. But his thoughts were interrupted when he heard a large booming sound. Boom. His security went up to him and pushed him towards the crates to take cover. Jacques. What is going on out there? Have those animals attacked again? SDC guard. No sir, it's not. It appears a bullhead of some sorts is flying around the base and shooting rockets at us. Jacques. Then kill them. What am I paying you for, you imbeciles? The SDC guard nods and runs off outside, where multiple squads of SDC guards can be seen firing their weapons at the McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom jet, who can be seen going for another run. This jet is revealed to be Blitzwing. He loops back around, setting his sights for the facility. From there, he fires off a swarm of rockets right at the SDC's forces. The explosions sent them flying to the air, with some of the warehouses exploding into pieces. Jacques quickly went out to see what's going on and to get the hell out of there. He sees a few of the guards getting up after the attack. Jacques looks up as Blitzwing is making his way towards them and starts to transform into his robot mode. Blitzwing's face reeks of pure evil and is downright menacing, scaring the SDC guards who were able to see his face up close as he flies straight for them. This is Blitzwing in his robot mode. Blitzwing comes in and smashes with one hand a bunch of dust crates, which sent them all flying towards the SDC guards. He equips his subsonic gun and fires projectiles that kills all SDC personnel in the area. Jacques quickly took cover by the crates as Blitzwing hovers in the air and takes out the rest. Thundercracker then lands on the ground, equipping his laser cannon and firing huge blasts of lasers that destroys the terrain in one shot. Explosions rang out as Thundercracker now fires rockets in the area, blowing up the spider droids the SDC forces sent out. He charges his laser cannon and fires at a warehouse, causing a huge explosion as debris fly out to the snow. Up in the skies, Ramjet is in his vehicle mode and drops down multiple bombs on the SDC facility, destroying everything in the area. He even loops back around and fires off a swarm of missiles at the SDC mine, causing the cave to collapse, trapping all the Faunus workers inside. Jacques, on the other hand, looks at the battle and sees his forces are doing a terrible job at defending his property. Jacques, can somebody please kill these machines already? What am I paying you for? You're all useless. SDC guard, incoming. The guards push Jacques away as a bullhead was literally thrown at them. Up in the sky, Skywarp uses his main ability, which allows him to teleport and uses his saw to cut the bullheads into pieces, or in this case, blow them up. He grabs the engine of a bullhead and throws it right at a group of SDC guards running for their lives. Skywarp watches as they die in a huge explosion. Skywarp, this isn't even fair. Skywarp says that while laughing. He looks around the area, spotting Jacques Schnee and his security detail heading for the remaining bullheads. Skywarp smirks and teleports away. Meanwhile, Jacques can be seen running for his life. He does not give a damn about the workers nor the guards in this facility. The only thing that matters to him is he gets out of here alive. Workers can be replaced, but his life, no. But sadly, he won't get that wish. Because out of nowhere, Skywarp teleports himself on top of Jacques and comes straight for him. Jacques ordered all his troops to fire at Skywarp, but the Decepticon retaliates back by equipping his Gatling missile launchers on both of his arms, firing them all at Jacques as his screams can be heard from the distance. Starscream lands on the ground, alongside Ramjet, ordering the Seekers to find the relic immediately. Starscream, search the area and find the relic. He says that while firing missiles using his homing missile launcher, explosions of fire and snow erupt all around the facility. While he monitors the facility alongside Thundercracker and Ramjet, Skywarp and Blitzwing head inside the warehouse, the same one where Jacques was. Once they head inside, the two walk past the dead SDC guards and made their way to the relic, which was still stuck in its icy tomb. Skywarp began punching it, causing the ice to break. Blitzwing watches, but unknown to them, something or someone was sneaking behind them. After a couple more hits, both of them saw the relic is now freed from its icy tomb. Skywarp, whatever this disc-like relic is, let's hope it's worth it. But before Skywarp was about to grab the relic, a purple grenade falls to the ground. The two didn't even notice it at first, but it was too late. A burst of blue energy sends the two Decepticons flying a few feet from the entrance. BLTswing quickly got up and fires his subsonic gun at the intruder, who is now revealed to be Nightbird, who boosts herself behind the relic and takes cover by the icy tomb. Skywarp, don't let them get the relic. The two Decepticons charge at Nightbird. She quickly boosts herself upwards using her jetpack and has the immobilizer with her. Nightbird, freeze. She fires a circular light blue beam at Skywarp and Blitzwing. The two block the beam with their hands. Not knowing that the immobilizer freezes them in place as the two stood there, not moving. Nightbird, the immobilizer, true to its name. She lands back on the ground and walks up to the relic, retrieving it and placing the disc on her chest. Nightbird, let's see what kind of power the Apex armor truly possesses. Outside, Starscream is getting very impatient with the two. Thundercracker and Ramjet have just finished securing the area and eliminated all personnel in the area. Starscream, those two imbeciles are taking too long. Ramjet, head for the warehouse and investigate what those two are doing. Ramjet nods and was about to walk up to warehouse, when all of a sudden, Thundercracker was hit with a dust barrel, which caused an explosion. Thundercracker, what the, who? He was cut off when more barrels were being thrown at him. Thundercracker looks for the source and found it. There, he sees Battletrap using his electrified flail. He spins it around and hits a large rock formation in the destroyed cave. The flail does not destroy the rocks, but grabs it. Battletrap then throws it right at Ramjet, sending him up in the air and crashing to the ground. Before Thundercracker could even fire back, Battletrap equips his machine gun on his right arm and lays down rounds at the Decepticons. Starscream, who in the pits of count is that? Frustrated by the incompetence of his subordinates, Starscream fires out missiles using his homing missile launcher at Battletrap, who runs through the snowy fields as explosions rang out behind him. Battletrap, Nightbird, anytime now. Starscream fires rockets with his homing missile launcher and bullets with his machine gun. The bullets hit Battletrap as sparks erupt around his body. But a missile hits him dead on and sends him crashing to a downed bullhead. Starscream, I'm going to make sure to remind you why you shouldn't dare go against me, vermin. He slowly walks up to Battletrap, now equipped with his buzz saw, ready to rip him apart. But then, Nightbird, hey. He stops dead on his tracks and turns to the sound of the voice, which was a big mistake. Pow! Starscream gets punched in the face and was sent crashing to the ground. Thundercracker and Ramjet, who were the only ones left standing, looked to who attacked Starscream and were shocked at what they saw. It was Nightbird in some sort of armor, but this isn't just any regular armor they know. No, Nightbird is now using the full capabilities of the Apex armor. Nightbird, it seems you got your hands full, Battletrap. Battletrap. Aw, shut it. Do you have the immobilizer, Nightbird? She doesn't say anything and throws the relic to Battletrap's hands. He laughs and activates the weapon. Battletrap. Can't wait to use this. This is going to be fun. Nightbird. Use it when I tell you to. Scourge wants to see what this armor can do and we are going to test it on those two. Nightbird runs with the Apex armor as both Thundercracker and Ramjet fire their blasters at her. The bullets do nothing to the armor with Nightbird shrugging it off and continues sprinting to the two Seekers. The two discard their blasters and equip their melee weapons, Thundercracker with a Cybertronian sword and a saw, while Ramjet is using his vibro claws. The two went and delivered multiple attacks towards Nightbird. She blocks all of them before delivering heavy punches at the two, sending them back a few feet. She unleashes a kick that sends Ramjet flying to the snow, but Thundercracker comes in and delivers a slash with the sword. Nightbird retaliated back by a punch but Thundercracker grabs the arm, using his saw to slice the armor open. Sadly, all he got were sparks when the saw hits the armor. Ramjet comes back and hits Nightbird in the back of the head using the vibro blades. Annoyed by this, Nightbird uses the Apex armor and punches Ramjet right at his stomach, then lifts up her hands and slams them at Ramjet, sending him to the snow. Thundercracker fires a missile which did nothing to the Apex armor. Nightbird turns around and charges right for him. Before Thundercracker could even boost out of there, Nightbird grabs him by the leg and slams him to the snow. Meanwhile, Starscream wakes up from the punch, courtesy of Nightbird. He shakes his head and looks at the scene to see Thundercracker and Ramjet losing badly to Nightbird due to the Apex armor. But before Starscream could even assist his comrades, he notices something that made him curious, and sneakily walks up to it. Up in the cranes, on a metal cargo container, appears to be crystals that are glowing bright red. Back in the fight, Ramjet gets pushed back by Nightbird. Thundercracker would have assisted him but is being pelted by bullets courtesy of Battletrap. Battletrap fires a beam from the immobilizer which forces Thundercracker to take cover. Battletrap. Nightbird, let's finish this and get out of here. Nightbird. Right. She punches Ramjet in the face, causing him to collapse to the snow. She uses the Apex armor to grab the Decepticon. Nightbird looks at Battletrap, who is readying the immobilizer. Nightbird, he's all yours. She throws ramjets towards Battletrap as he fires the immobilizer, freezing Ramjet in the air as his body comes crashing down to the ground. The two Terracons now look at Thundercracker, who was making a last stand since Starscream was nowhere to be found. But before any of them could make a move, AF-35B Lightning II comes in and fires swarms of missiles at the two Terracons. Nightbird, looks like their reinforcements have arrived. Bloodhound, open the ground bridge. The ground bridge opens up as missiles and bullets rain down on the two Terracons as Starscream finally shows up. Starscream, kill them. Don't let them escape. Starscream fires more missiles, with Thundercracker firing lasers at them. Nightbird with the Apex armor runs to the ground bridge, while Battletrap deactivates the immobilizer, causing the others to unfreeze from their spot. Ramjet slowly gets up, seeing Battletrap use his machine gun to cover his escape. Ramjet equips his weapon and fires his missiles, but they miss as Battletrap entered the ground bridge and it disappears. Starscream looks to where the ground bridge once was. He sees Ramjet walking up to him as well as Skywarp and Blitzwing exiting the warehouse. Thundercracker, so much for a mission accomplished. Smack. He was met with a smack from Starscream, which caused him to skid through the snow. All that Starscream could do is scream in anger. He looks up and sees the F-35B Lightning II coming into their positions as the jet transforms into the Decepticon, Thrust. Starscream, Thrust, what are you doing here? Don't tell Megatron sent you to clean up our mess. Thrust, no he did not, I was part of the Decepticon squad sent to Solitas to eliminate all Atlas bases and SDC mines. I just happened to stumble upon your mess, and it seems you failed your mission, Starscream. Before Starscream was about to blurt out another one of his insults, Skywarp notices something in his hand. Skywarp, Starscream, what do you have there in your hands? Starscream get annoyed by Skywarp's question and knowing how persistent they will be regarding his schemes. He reluctantly showed what he has in his possession. It looks like what appears to be Energon, but red in color. Ramjet, what is that? Is that Energon? Starscream, not just any Energon, Ramjet, but red Energon, from what I read in the archives on the Nemesis. Red Energon is an extremely volatile and rare type of Energon. When it is refined into fuel, it increases the user's speed and strength. The only downside being, it takes significantly longer to process than regular Energon. Skywarp, and knowing you, Starscream, you want this all for yourself. Starscream, indeed, I will process this red Energon for myself. I have found over a dozen crates of this and will use it for my plans against Megatron. To show him, that I am the only one fit to rule the Decepticons. Ramjet, and how are you suppose you are going to do that? 'Cause news flash, Starscream. Soundwave or any of the other Decepticons would know what you are planning. Starscream, oh, don't worry. I came prepared. He presents a hologram of what appears to be a lab of some sorts. Starscream, while I was scouting these lands, I found this lab in one of the mines and its origins are of Decepticon. Whoever placed this here knew of our arrival. Thundercracker, Soundwave and Shockwave did point that out. Everyone else is thinking that someone or something brought us here for a reason. Starscream, indeed, and that is why I will use this facility to process the red Energon for my own needs. Once we arrive back in the Nemesis, I want all of you to report in that we came in empty-handed. Megatron must not know of the red Energon we found. Thrust, are you a crazy, Starscream? Megatron will have our heads if he finds out we lied about this. Starscream, if you don't follow my orders, I will be the one that will rip your head, Thrust. Not Megatron. Do I make myself clear? Thrust reluctantly obeys Starscream's orders. Blitzwing, so we are really going to come in empty-handed. Lord Megatron won't accept failures. Starscream, it does not matter, he will be far more interested in those Cybertrinanes we've encountered in this facility. Now let's move and get out of this pitiful place. They all nod as the Seekers all transform into their vehicle mode and fly on out of there. Darkmount. In the ruins of Mt. Glen, during a span of around 3 to 4 days, the Constructicons alongside the Decepticon drones and soldiers they sent to the mountains, have finally finished constructing the Decepticon Citadel. The Citadel was named Darkmount and now serves as a base for their operations in Vale as well as a showcase of power to the populace and to the military of this planet. Right now, the Nemesis is docked in the tower of the Citadel. Inside the bridge, the Seekers have just returned from their mission, empty-handed, and Megatron is not pleased by this outcome. Megatron, how is this possible? Not only did we lose a relic, but 5 of my warriors got bested by 2 Cybertronians. And what is this I'm hearing about Thrust stating that your attackers are in possession of another relic? He walks in front of the line of Decepticons standing in formation, who all look down in shame as Megatron angrily screams out their failures. He stops dead in his tracks, when he faces Starscream. Megatron, so tell me, Starscream, how did this happen? And don't give me something other than an excuse. Starscream, but Lord Megatron, you need to understand that even with the loss of the relic, we made a new discovery. It seems this new faction are that of Cybertronians, and Blitzwing himself said he has heard of them. Megatron, Blitzwing, please elaborate what he is saying. Blitzwing, of course, Lord Megatron. From what I was able to pick up, the 2 Cybertronians, named Nightbird and Battletrap, made mention of their leader, Scourge. There were rumors about a faction known as the Terracons. They have no allegiance with anyone. Megatron, I see. Soundwave, please inform us all what Starscream and his subordinates have lost. Soundwave displays the 2 relics on the screen, with the info he acquired from the archives. Soundwave, the relic that this Nightbird has in her possession is known as the Immobilizer, an experimental Decepticon weapon that can cause instant stasis lock, though the victim remains fully conscious. The relic that Starscream failed to acquire is known as the Apex Armor, one of the relics of the 13 or an armor of Decepticon design. While normally compacted in a disc, when placed over a Cybertronian's chest it will expand into a huge set of armor able to withstand any attacks from blasters, bombs or melee weapons, as well as enhancing the user's strength. Megatron, not only did Scourge and his Terracons have access to one relic, but another that will be an obstacle to us. Soundwave, call all Decepticons, task them with finding the rest of the relics before Scourge does. Inform Grinder to increase security in the Citadel. We cannot let them acquire the supply of energon we have at our disposal. As it now shows in the table beside the main console, Megatron was examining the new energon cubes that Soundwave has made. This will be used to fuel their resources, and they kept an infinite supply of them in Darkmount and the Nemesis. Soundwave, understood, my lord. Then the doors of the bridge opened. They all look to see another one of the Decepticons enter. He is known as Mindwipe. Mindwipe, Lord Megatron, you have summoned me. Megatron, ah yes, Mindwipe. Let's hope you are more than capable of accomplishing the task given to you, unlike some in this room. Megatron then grabs the energon cube and throws it at Starscream, hitting him directly in the head. Megatron, you disgust me. All that Starscream felt at that moment was anger, annoyance, and confusion. Megatron, Soundwave, show Mindwipe his mission. Soundwave nods and types in the console. In the main one, an image pops up of what appears to be schematics of a female robot of some sorts, with the title named, Penny. Soundwave, you will infiltrate the Atlas flagship or head to Beacon Academy and find this girl. She is not human but an android. You will hypnotize her to do our bidding and command her to attack the Vital Festival. Ensure that no one knows you are there and to do it discreetly. We cannot allow the humans to know of our plan. Mindwipe, understood, it will be done. But before Mindwipe could leave for his mission, the Nemesis got a transmission from Grinder. Grinder, Lord Megatron, we have a situation. Megatron, report, have we encountered any Cybertronians attacking the Citadel? If so, alert all forces and crush them. Grinder, I'm afraid not, my lord. It seems the humans have brought a fleet and are headed their way here. Megatron, what? He looks to Soundwave, who shows a hologram of the Atlas fleet heading its way to Darkmount. Seeing this, Megatron just laughs at the humans' attempts to attack them. Megatron, to think the humans have the guts to attack us at our strongest. Grinder, I will send a team to assist you in dealing with these insects. Grinder, actually, my lord. They don't plan to attack us. Whoever is in that ship is foolish enough to contact us. Starscream, the humans are trying to contact us. What kind of foolishness is this? Megatron, Grinder, who exactly is trying to speak with us, right now? Grinder, a human named Ozpin, my lord. Megatron, Ozpin. Megatron did not know the name at first, but whatever memories of Jaune Arc he once had, all came back to him as he started laughing maniacally. Megatron, Grinder, inform this Ozpin that we are willing to speak with him. Only that he brings one ship to our citadel. Failure to do so will lead to their immediate termination. Grinder, understood, Lord Megatron. Grinder ends the transmission as the Decepticons in the bridge were shocked that Megatron is willing to talk with these humans. Starscream, Lord Megatron, surely this must be some kind of mistake. Why are you? Megatron, from what the info told us, this Ozpin essentially rules all of Vale, or albeit, controls part of it. He wishes to speak with us about an agreement. He wants to keep the safety of his people. Well, this is my chance to show him our true strength, our power, and to show him that there is nothing he can do to stop us. He looks towards Soundwave. Megatron, Soundwave, get the weapon prepped and be ready to fire at my command. Soundwave, yes, Lord Megatron. Starscream, I see. So you are using the weapon to make an example out of them. So, impressive. These insects won't see it coming. Megatron, indeed. Now then, let us greet our guest. Chapter 8. Up in the skies, just a few miles from Mt. Glen. The Atlas fleet is on standby and are awaiting orders from Ironwood. Ironwood stares at Darkmount, unsure of this plan. He wants to attack them right now, but Ozpin told him it's a bad idea and that he will lose his entire fleet if he even dares to attack. Ironwood, Ozpin, are you sure this is even a good idea? We contacted these robotic beings minutes ago and yet haven't responded to us for a while now. Ozpin, what choice do we have, James? More and more of your bases and SDC mines are getting destroyed. We are defenseless and our resources are decreasing by the day. This is our only chance to plead to these robotic beings to stop this madness and learn why they are doing this. Ironwood was hesitant of this and has a bad feeling something is going to happen. Ozpin, what have we done to incur their wrath? Ironwood, that I do not know, Ozpin. They hear footsteps behind them and turned around to see Goodwitch and Kiro walking up to them. Goodwitch, we got word from the robots' fortress and they allowed to speak with us, but only on one condition. Ironwood, and what is that? Kiro, to only have one ship enter the fortress, the fleet stays. Ironwood, what? Absolutely not. Ozpin, very well then. Ironwood looks towards Ozpin in anger. What is he thinking? They won't have any defense against these robots and one bullhead ain't enough at all. Ozpin, it's either we give in to their demands or your fleet turns to ash. Pick the logical option, James. Looking at the options right now, Ozpin may be right. So Ironwood sighs and agrees with the demands. Kiro, just make sure your boys don't do anything stupid, Jimmy. This is a negotiation, not an attack. Ironwood, yes, Kiro. I know. Kiro, do you? 'Cause I've seen what these are capable of and we will lose. No matter how many times you boast how technological advances Atlas is, these guys beat you for miles. Ironwood can only give Kiro a glare at that comment about Atlas as the inner circle head to the hangar bay. Timeskip. In the hangar bay of the flagship, Ozpin's inner circle walks up to the bullhead, where they were met with the people that will join them in these negotiations. They are Winter, Oobleck, Port, Teams RWBY, Prawn, CFVY, and CRDL. Winter, General, what's the verdict? Ironwood, we will head to their fortress using one bullhead. If we even dare to attack, they will retaliate back. Ozpin wants to negotiate with these robotic beings and convince them to stop whatever plans they are doing. But quite frankly, I don't trust it. On my command, once we leave the fortress, I will order my forces to attack. Winter, what about the defense of Vale, sir? Ironwood, a new batch of soldiers and AKs are making their way to Vale as we speak. Hopefully this will be enough to hold off against an invasion. With that, Winter can only nod. Meanwhile, Ozpin and his inner circle walk up to the staff and students of Beacon. Goodwitch, alright, everyone. Listen up, we will head into the bullhead and make our way to their fortress. I expect all of you to be at your best behavior. She looks towards Team RWBY, specifically RWBY first. Goodwitch, no outbursts about weapons. They are our enemies, not your friends. She looks towards Weiss next. Goodwitch, no unnecessary comments and complaints. Now at Blake. Goodwitch, no vigilante stunts. And finally at Young. Goodwitch, and no reckless actions. These robots can kill you and we've seen it firsthand. Ozpin, Indeed, we should not underestimate these robots as they have destroyed nearly every single base in Remnant. Even dare to go against them and you may be killed on the spot. So please, be cautious and try not to do something stupid, especially you Team RWBY. I allowed you to join on this mission, because I know you would try to go to this fortress because of Ms. Belladonna. You are on thin ice because of the highway incident and I refuse to allow you to do another. Do I make myself clear? Team RWBY nods, but Ozpin wasn't too sure that they would give their end of the bargain. Ozpin gestures all of them to enter the bullhead as they did. But not before Alex Arc sends the Arc clan a message that she is heading to the fortress and will get as much intel as she can about these guys. Because the Arc clan is going to war with them. Darkmount. Entrance pathway. The bullhead makes its way to the entrance of Darkmount, with the occupants exiting the bullhead. Ozpin informed them that their contact will meet them by the entrance of their fortress, and let's just say they were already intimidated by the fortress, even if they haven't entered it yet. Suddenly, Velvet's ears twitches as she hears something heading towards them and sees it. Velvet. Hey guys, look. They look towards the entrance to see two vehicles driving to them and one flying in the sky. They are an Audi R8, a Caterpillar 773B dump truck, and a CH-53E Super Stallion helicopter. From there, the Audi R8 drifts around the Remnant natives, forcing them to step back as the three transform. The people of Remnant are face to face with Grinder, Sideways, and Long Haul. All of them were intimidated by the Decepticons. Ozpin wonders who they are and why they are here. Ironwood wants to capture one of them and use their technology for Atlas needs. Alex needs to know everything about them and report it to the Arc clan. While RWBY is tempted to ask questions about their weapons and if they can lend her their technology. Logic and common sense disappear when it comes to weapons for RWBY. Long Haul. So this must be the insects meeting with Lord Megatron. Sideways. Yup. And like the idiot that Yang is, her anger took over. Her eyes turning her when she saw Sideways. Yang remembers what happened in the highway, how this robot freak ripped her precious Bumblebee in half. Without a second thought, Yang charges at Sideways. With the intent of teaching him a lesson. RWBY. Yang. Yang was about to reach Sideways, but he saw this coming and dodges her attack, grabbing Yang by the leg and throwing her around the ground like a rag doll. Every hit making a large thump as her aura is going away after each hit. RWBY was about to charge in but was stopped when Grinder aims his wrist-mounted Gatling gun at them. Hero quickly ushers RWBY away before she plays hero and gets herself killed. Sideways finishes Yang off by hitting her a few more times on the ground. Before he throws her towards one of the spiked pillars. Sadly, she didn't hit the spike but the flat metal surface. Yang's state is not good, she is all bruised up and is unconscious. Sideways walks up to Yang's body and grabs her by the leg, dragging her towards her friends. Sideways. Here's your little friend. He throws Yang without any hesitation as she crashes to the ground. Goodwitch went up to Yang and just sighs at her stupidity. She uses her semblance to bring her to the ship as Ozpin approaches Grinder, who still has his gun up. Ozpin. I'm sorry about my student's actions. I believe she had reasons to attack your friend over there. Grinder. Really? And what reasons is that human? We allowed you to speak to our leader and this is the first thing you do. RWBY. You destroyed her bike. You ripped Bumblebee to pieces. Kiro. RWBY, be quiet. Sideways. I'm sorry, but did you say Bumblebee? RWBY. Yes, it was her motorbike. She loved that motorcycle and you crushed it to pieces like it was nothing. It was something precious to her and you destroyed it. And just like that, the three Decepticons laugh at what they heard. Which pissed off Kiro. Kiro. Something funny. Grinder. Of course. The name Bumblebee is familiar to us. He is an Autobot that has been a thorn in our plans for far too long. A shame he has yet to be deactivated. He shows a hologram of Bumblebee as all of the Remnant natives, specifically Kiro and RWBY, were surprised by this. That a robot has a similar name to Yang's motorbike. RWBY glares at the Decepticons at the thought of them wanting to kill this robot. Just by looking at it, the robot looks friendly. Unlike the three standing in front of her. Sideways. What a coincidence that Insect's little vehicle is named Bumblebee. A shame it wasn't the one we know, I would have loved to rip his spark out. Long Haul. Tough luck, Barricade has first dibs in ripping that bug's life with his very hands. Grinder, indeed. Suddenly, they get a transmission from Soundwave. Soundwave, Grinder, Lord Megatron wants an update on the humans. Have they arrived in Darkmount? Grinder, yes they have, Soundwave. We ran into some complications, but we handled it. Shall we escort them to the tower? Soundwave, affirmative. He ends the transmission, with Grinder ordering Sideways and Longhaul to secure the perimeter to make sure the humans don't try something. They transformed and drove off out of there. Grinder, return to your aircraft and follow me. I will escort you to the tower. Any funny business and we blow you to bits. He transforms into his vehicle mode, hovering in the air while the people of Remnant head inside the bullhead. Once they were ready, Grinder leads them to the tower in Darkmount, where they can see it from the distance. The rest of the students looked at the rest of Darkmount and saw the army of Decepticons on the ground. Coco, okay, what the hell is this? Who are these guys? And where did they come from? Velvet, nobody knows, rumors said they came out of nowhere. No one really knows where they came from. Cardin, huh, these tin cans don't look so tough. Alex, really now? Don't come crying when these guys kill you. That giant bot that's escorting us could have easily killed us if he wanted to. Blake, the same can be said for Yang. That thing could have killed her, but it didn't. Weiss, I don't understand how something like this can exist. How are they able to have this kind of technology? It should be impossible. This is unlike anything Remnant has ever seen. Nora, maybe, they're aliens. Weiss, preposterous, there is no such thing as aliens. Ren, I believe you're wrong, Weiss. Nora may be onto something. Weiss, you're all idiots if you think these machines are aliens. Alex, and what do you think they are, Schnee? What are these guys supposed to be, huh? Tell me, since you think you are so smart all the time. Weiss has no answer to Alex's questions. Alex, thought so. Meanwhile with Ozpin's inner circle, Ironwood continues to stare out of the doors of the bullhead, looking at the Decepticon fortress, finding key points where it will be vital to capture should they attack. Kiro, like I said before, Jimmy. Don't even try it. Their fortress is heavily fortified and by the looks of it, their weapons are far more advanced than anything Altas has. Winter, and how would you know what these robots are capable of? Don't try and underestimate what the Atlas military can do. We are the greatest military in Remnant for a reason. Hearing what Winter said, all Kiro can do is laugh at her bold claims. Kiro, oh, you don't know what you are dealing with, Ice Queen. One of them nearly blew my brains out. Imagine what an army of them can do in news flash. These guys took out majority of Atlas bases. What makes it worse is they probably sent one guy to do it. Winter, I have faith that Atlas can pull through with this. Once we know what these machines are made of and what can damage them, we'll win. Kiro, I'm not sure about that. They were interrupted when Ozpin calls out to all of them. Ozpin, it seems we have arrived. They all look at the doors to see the tower in sight. Grinder hovers then transforms, landing in the tower as he gestures the bullhead to land in this specific spot. It does with all the occupants exiting the bullhead. Yang was still unconscious and is left in the bullhead for the time being. Grinder leads the group to where Megatron is and stands before them. All of the Remnant people are intimidated by his presence, well the students are. Grinder, Lord Megatron, your guests have arrived. They all look towards the throne where Megatron sits. To his left is Starscream and his Seekers, Thundercracker and Skywarp. To Megatron's right is Shockwave and Soundwave. They are also joined by two Seekers, who are Ramjet and Thrust. Grinder on the other hand, steps back behind them as he is now joined by Brawl and Bonecrusher. The Remnant natives felt very intimidated when they came across Megatron. Alex glares at him, knowing this is the leader of the faction that has been attacking her family. While Ironwood is looking around and finding ways to beat them. While Ozpin kept an emotionless face and steps forward, ready to begin the negotiations, if you can call them that. Ozpin, so you must be the leader of this group, yes. Megatron, indeed I am, human. I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons. We come from the planet Cybertron and have taken refuge in your pitiful planet. Nora, wait, so you're aliens. I knew it. See, Rennie, I told you I was right. Starscream, be silent, insect. You are in the presence of our glorious leader, Megatron. You should show him some respect before I rip you in half. Just hearing Starscream's menacing voice, Nora cowers behind Ren. Starscream's voice is the TF2 Game 1. Weiss. Aliens. Impossible, aliens don't exist. There should be a logical reason for this. Shockwave. Then explain what we are, human. Explain how we are created, how we were able to achieve all this, our technology, how we can act and talk like you pitiful humans and how we got here. I'm sure you can come up with a logical reason for this. Because the only thing I see that is illogical is you. That made Weiss shut up. Seeing this made Megatron smirk. Megatron. Now then, I would say it is foolish of you to come here. I could have easily destroyed your forces, but decided against it and brought you all here. Ironwood. Why are you here on our home? What exactly are you trying to gain? To rule us. Destroy us. Megatron. It's quite simple really, I plan to turn this planet into our home. You are all obstacles in my path of conquest, you all stand against the Decepticon cause and shall be eliminated by any means necessary. Ironwood. And you believe you have the power to stop us? Megatron. Are you blind? Have you not seen what my forces are capable of? We have eliminated the military of this planet with ease. You claim yourselves to be technologically superior than us and yet we were able to defeat you in a matter of minutes. You do not stand a chance against my warriors. Alex. But why attack my family? Why attack the Arc clan? They have done nothing to you. Megatron. They did. You betrayed me and left me for dead, dear sister. He whispered this, but is heard by Shockwave as he slowly glances at his leader. Megatron. I believe you forgot what I said seconds ago, you are an obstacle to our plans and must be eliminated. Soundwave here has all the information about this Arc clan and we concluded that your so-called clan will merely be a nuisance to us and needs to be dealt with. Alex. Don't underestimate what my family can do. Try to attack us and we'll go to war with you. Megatron. You can try, and don't think we know what you are doing, human. Alex. What are you talking about? Suddenly, Alex was tackled to the ground. She looks up and sees Ravage growling at her. Alex's team was about to help her, but was stopped when Brawl aims his weapons at them. Brawl. One step and I blast you to bits. Grinder. Don't tempt him, he has an itchy trigger finger. Cardin. Oh really? You don't look so tough you tin. Brawl unleashes his claws and hits them besides Cardin, forcing him to fall flat on his ass on the metal floor. Brawl. You were saying, insect. Seeing the situation, Team PRAN stands down as Ravage grabs Alex's scroll and drops it in front of Soundwave, who uses the metal tentacles to grab it. He looks at the screen and shows that Alex is on call with the Arc clan. Soundwave. Lord Megatron. The girl appears to have contacted the Arc clan and they have been hearing everything we have said ever since they arrived. Megatron. Have they now? He began laughing at their pathetic attempts of learning how to defeat them. But this time, he will show the pathetic Arc clan, who they are messing with. Megatron. If the Arc clan is hearing this, I will show you just how powerful the Decepticons truly are and how this battle was your loss from the beginning. Soundwave. Contact Flatline and order him to fire the weapon. Destroy their fleet. Soundwave. Yes, Lord Megatron. Ironwood. What? Ironwood was about to order Winter to contact the fleet to attack, but was met with weapons aimed at them from Brawl, Bonecrusher, Grinder, and Shockwave, with Ravage circling around them while growling. Megatron. This child you brought with you wishes to know what we are capable of and we will give it to her. In the tower, the Decepticons built a fusion cannon, one that can fire in 4 directions. Inside the control center, the Decepticon Flatline, a master surgeon, scientist, and the medic, is typing on the console as the cannon can be seen powering up. Flatline. Soundwave. The cannon is charged and ready on your command. Soundwave. Lord Megatron. The cannon is charged and ready to go. Megatron can only smirk. It is time to show the humans of Remnant the Decepticons' newfound might. Megatron. Fire. The fusion cannon on the tower slowly aims downwards right at the Atlesian fleet. From there, a large beam charges up in the cannon. All of the Remnant natives that were there can do nothing but watch. Ironwood grits his teeth in anger seeing this. Inside the Atlesian flagship, the soldiers can do nothing as the fusion cannon is aimed right for them. Some of the bullheads and dropships fly on out of there, but it was too late. The cannon fires off a green laser beam filled with electricity at the Atlesian fleet. Once the beam makes impact with the Atlesian fleet, a large explosion of energy erupts, a sphere forms up and causes all of the aircraft, including the flagship, to hover in the air. Then in the center of it all, the aircrafts get pulled slowly towards the beam, and once they're all together, it caused a large explosion that sent all of them flying and crashing to the ground in a flurry of explosions. Seeing the power of the fusion cannon, Alex was speechless. She is extremely worried about these Decepticons using this weapon against them. Not even their weapons can withstand this. She needs to make a report of what she is seeing, in order to hopefully save her clan from their destruction. She watches as Soundwave uses his metal tentacle to crush her scroll and throws it right back. Meanwhile, Ozpin was shocked of the power that Megatron has in his disposal. Just one shot from their cannon was able to take out the entire Atlesian fleet. Ironwood on the other hand is furious at the actions the Decepticons did and was about to bring out his pistol and fire at them, but was stopped by Goodwitch. "Goodwitch, do you have a death wish? We are lucky we weren't on that ship when they fired." Ironwood, "But Glinda, Goodwitch, if you try anything, you're dead and so are we." Megatron, "This is the power that we are capable of, Ozpin, and we have more weapons like this at our disposal. Challenging our power will be a foolish decision." Ironwood, "We'll find a way to stop you. We just need to know what your technology is and we can win." Hearing what Ironwood said made the Decepticons laugh. The humans of this planet, who are more primitive than Earth, can defeat them. What a joke. Starscream, "Do you honestly believe you humans have a chance against us?" Grinder, "We destroyed almost all your bases with only a few remaining. Do you expect to fight us with that kind of manpower? You must be joking." Bonecrusher, "Huh. Even if the Autobots ever arrive on Remnant, they won't help you as you will kill them and use their body for your weapons." Brawl, "You will kill the only people that can actually defeat us, because we know how greedy you insects are, especially the pathetic display of technology that they call the Kingdom of Atlas." Hearing that made Ironwood and Winter's blood boil. They will truly show them what Atlas is capable of. Megatron, "Indeed, even if the Autobots showed up, you would do our job of taking out our sworn enemies. But we all know your so-called dust is useless against us." Starscream, "And we are going to show you what happens when you cross with us." Soundwave, "Show them what we did to the home of those animals, the one called Menagerie." The minute Menagerie was said, Blake felt a sense of dread and is afraid of what the Decepticons did to her home. She got her answer when Soundwave showed a hologram of the island, but it is now constructed to a city fit for the Decepticons. Shockwave, "As you can see, Menagerie was cyberformed and constructed to represent our home in Cybertron called Kaun. This was done by the Seed, a device that can turn an entire city into molten metal, and we have hundreds of them at our disposal." Blake, "You monsters. How dare you do this? My people didn't deserve this." Ruby, "Blake, stop. Weiss, don't do anything stupid that will get you killed." The two held Blake back as Shockwave walks up to them. The three look at him in fear. Shockwave, "Human, your name is Blake. Blake Belladonna." Blake, "Yes, what is it to you?" Shockwave doesn't say anything and walks back to his spot. Megatron, "Like what Shockwave said, we turned the island of Menagerie into an island of molten metal. We can do the same with the other 4 kingdoms if we choose to do so. So let this be a reminder, Ozpin. Do not interfere with our plans or there will be dire consequences." Ozpin, "Of course, Ruby, but we'll stop you. We'll stop you from destroying our home." Ozpin quickly ordered Kiro to get Ruby out of there before she starts trouble with Megatron. Megatron, "Oh, and how are you supposed to stop us? Kill us. You don't look like someone that is willing to take a life, or are you?" Ruby, "We'll find a way. The heroes always do, and that's why my goal is to stop you by any means necessary." Megatron, "I like to see you try, human. You won't get far. Grinder, escort them back to the Bullhead and get them out of my sights." Grinder nods as he forcefully escorts the remnant natives with the help of Brawl and Bonecrusher to the Bullhead. Megatron laughs silently and whispers to himself. Megatron, "Even after eons, you still haven't changed, Craterface. Your heroic nature will kill you in the end." This was heard by both Soundwave and Shockwave as they slowly look at Megatron. Meanwhile, Megatron gave Ozpin one last parting gift. Megatron. And Ozpin. Here's sometime you should know, we do not align ourselves with Salem. She will fall like the rest of you, and yes, we do have a way to kill her. He smiles seeing Ozpin's shocked face as they leave Darkmount and back to Vale. Time skip. In an unknown location in the city of Vale, two vehicles can be seen heading into an abandoned warehouse. It's a police car. Who is revealed to be Barricade. He activates his headlights and sirens as he drives inside. There, he sees a group of Decepticons waiting for him as he transforms. Barricade. So what is it that you called me for? And why do we have to meet in someplace like this? He looked towards the group of Decepticons who are Soundwave, Shockwave, Brawl, Bonecrusher, and Blackout. No Starscream though, who knows what he will do when he learns of this information. Shockwave. We are here to discuss something we have learned and it's one that keens our interest. Brawl. I have no idea what they are talking about. But they brought me here alongside these two. Blackout. Indeed, only Shockwave and Soundwave know of the topic we are going to discuss. Barricade. And what is it? Soundwave. It involves a human named Jaune Arc. As Soundwave steps forward and shows a hologram of Jaune Arc. Bonecrusher. And how does this human concern us? He does not look tough at all. Soundwave. You will retract your statement once you find out what we'll reveal. Barricade. And what is that? Shockwave. When Lord Megatron and I were in Menagerie he said this. Shockwave showed the Decepticons a memory of Megatron back in Menagerie. Megatron. Ha, ha, ha. This is the price of crossing me. Exclamation mark. This is the price for betraying me, you hypocrite. Exclamation mark. You called me a criminal, when you yourself is a terrorist, a member of the White Fang. You are more than a criminal than I am, and yet they were fine with it. But not me. What makes me different? And now look, I hope you see this, Blake Belladonna, because your home, your family, has now been turned into nothing but molten metal. And it's because of you. Mark my words. I, Jaune Arc, a boy who you considered a faker, a weakling, has now come back to exact his revenge as Megatron. Shockwave. I found this to be very peculiar and out of character from Lord Megatron, and we so happened to came across this Blake Belladonna back at Darkmount. Lord Megatron spoke of Blake like she knew her. Soundwave. And records stated that Jaune Arc knew Blake Belladonna when he was in Beacon. Barricade. And she is one of the targets that Lord Megatron wishes for me to keep an eye out. As a matter of fact, all of the targets were in Darkmount hours ago. Soundwave. Affirmative, and there is more. Shockwave. And I heard Lord Megatron say this regarding the Arc-Human. He plays what Megatron said. Megatron. They did. You betrayed me and left me for dead, dear sister. Soundwave. And this regarding the Rose one. He does the same for this one. Megatron. Even after eons, you still haven't changed, Craterface. Your heroic nature will kill you in the end. Blackout. What can you tell me about Jaune Arc's relationship with the Arc clan? Soundwave. According to the intel we acquired from the Arc clan's servers, Jaune Arc, or Jaune now, was disowned and exiled from the Arc clan after he falsified his transcripts in Beacon Academy. He was killed by his family in the courtyard in Beacon. He was burned to death and turned to ash. Barricade. Interesting. Soundwave. As for the Rose Girl, she is part of Team RWBY, which has a sister team called Team JNPR, led by Jaune Arc. Shockwave. And Soundwave has footage regarding Lord Megatron referring to her as Craterface. Soundwave shows them footage he acquired from Beacon Academy. It shows Jaune and RWBY meeting for the first time in the courtyard of Beacon. RWBY. Look, I'm sorry. Vomit Boy was the first thing that came to mind. Jaune. Oh, yeah. What if I called you Craterface? RWBY. Hey, that explosion was an accident. Jaune. Well, the name's Jaune Arc. Short, sweet, rolls off the tongue, ladies love it. RWBY. Do they? Jaune. They will. Well, I hope they will. My mom always says that. Never mind. Brawl. That was horrible. Who introduces themselves like that? Bonecrusher. And why is he called Vomit Boy? Blackout. Is that really what you are concerned about? Soundwave. Enough. From what we can gather, our leader knows the people of Remnant, but the question is, how? How is this Jaune Arc related to Lord Megatron? Barricade. And do you have an answer for that? Shockwave. I do, from what my theories suggest. This is by far the most logical answer. Our leader, Megatron, was formerly known as Jaune Arc. He died here in Remnant and was reborn into our leader. It may be the work of the Allspark or some other worldly being, but it sent Megatron and all of us to this world. So he can take his revenge upon those that wronged him. Brawl. Hearing what you are saying makes sense. Most of the cons are asking questions about who is helping us get this much power. Blackout. Indeed. It all makes sense, now that I think about it. Bonecrusher. Yeah, now wonder the boss showed anger seeing their faces. He could have crushed them easily, but wants to make them suffer. Soundwave. Affirmative. But right now, we need to keep this information to ourselves. We cannot let this info reach the other Decepticons, especially Starscream. Blackout. Yes, who knows what he will do with this information. Brawl. Overthrow Lord Megatron as usual. Nothing new there. Shockwave. Indeed, but we will wait for the right moment to speak to Megatron about this. I calculate that Jaune Arc's personality is coming back and turning Lord Megatron into a different person. Bonecrusher. At least he won't kill us if we fail him. Barricade. Don't get your hopes up, Bonecrusher. Soundwave. All of us will return to the Nemesis and not speak of this until I say so. Barricade, return to your mission and do the same. In due time, we will get the truth one way or another. The ground bridge opens as Soundwave and the Decepticons head in the portal, with Barricade driving out of there. For tonight, the Decepticons now know of Megatron's past life. As the man known as Jaune Arc. What will this new discovery lead to? Who knows? And this is the end of part 4 of this What If. I hope you guys like it. Do not forget to leave a comment down below and subscribe to the channel.